안녕하세요. What is up, ducks? Quack quack.
Danny Kim.
David Kim. Today we're gonna talk about the media abusing BTS. Oh no, it's a big problem. Is there media exhaustion?
Oh
no.
Are people exhausted? First off, we have JTBC on December 9th. Reporting that BTS is seeking legal advice over profit distribution issue with BigHit Entertainment.
Oh no.
And when this news broke out, like everybody went nuts.
You went nuts.
People were like, "Yo, see, I told you, BigHit Entertainment was just another K-pop label."
You did a knee-jerk reaction, and I saw you tweet it on Twitter.
Well,
I had to unretweet that from our account
hey.
because everybody was coming and saying this is fake news.
No, more specifically, JTBC News used the word 법적 대응 검토 in their headline, which would translate to reviewing, taking legal action, aka suing. JTBC reported that a law firm had been looking over these matters and that there was a conflict. There's a dispute between BTS and BigHit in October of 2018 regarding the revenue shares. And that was the time when they were doing the contract extensions, and they stated that the disagreement had not come to a close even till now. However, BigHit very quickly came up with an official statement saying that these reports are completely false. In the statement, which they made on the behalf of themselves and BTS's parents as well, they stated that BTS and their parents have no plans to take legal measures against the company, and they are just negotiating matters that will not be affecting BTS's exclusive contract with BigHit. So they're just like trying to adjust like the small little details inside.
So everybody's satisfied.
Right. Yeah. In the official statement, they stated, one, BTS and his parents simply made an inquiry to a law firm regarding the video production part of the contract, and there was no official steps to taking legal action, and it was just simply an inquiry. Furthermore, BigHit has been advising BTS and their parents to proactively seek the advice of lawyers and accountants outside of the company. Yeah. And this has been going on for a while. And this inquiry was made prior to BTS negotiating with BigHit, and it was not because there was a disagreement with the company, but rather them trying to find out what would be a good deal for them. Second, there was no dispute between BigHit and BTS. The contracted value of BTS is astronomical, and BigHit is seeing BTS as an equal partner.
Of course they have to.
I don't think equal would be the right word,
not
honestly.
Equal.
It's like
you have to serve them as kings.
Yeah. Thus, the discussions regarding re-signing of the contracts took some time and eventually came to an agreement. Lastly, JTBC came to BigHit without any notice trying to report their news, and they trespassed BigHit's offices and filmed inside. Such actions have been caught on BigHit's CCTV.
Again, JTBC has a reputation on this.
Really?
Well, they impeached the president due to that, but still, they broke into like someo's office and got that tablet PC, which did a lot of good at the end.
Now, BigHit has requested an official apology from JTBC. JTBC hasn't answered since then.
It's been like 2 days, right?
Right,
There's
2 days,
response.
no response.
Oh my god.
Its reputation is back and forth. When the president was being impeached, then JTBC was seen as like the justice.
Last standing like journalism in Korea.
And then after the president got impeached, JTBC has been going on a little bit of a downfall with its very misleading reports. I have a debate question for you. Is trespassing private property against journalism ethics?
Of course it is.
Really?
Of course it is. In the perspective of principles, of course you have to obtain your leads or your evidence through legal measures, legal action. In principle, it's not legal, and I think that person, the journalist or whoever who broke into BigHit's office, of course, did a crime. It should not be given an okay every single time.
I think a lot of times in journalism, you have to break some rules in order to find out the truth that's hidden deep underneath.
Dispatch?
First of all, Dispatch isn't really uncovering anything. They're not uncovering injustice. They're uncovering dating scandals.
Okay, so only for justice.
Right.
Social justice.
Social justice. Who gets to decide what is social justice? That's the big issue. I agree.
Yeah.
So it's very gray. The lines are very gray.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you think about the big journalism events, the big digs that have been happening, over the history of journalism,
right.
A lot of times they were obtained through illegal methods. For example, Trump saying grab her by the pussy.
Yeah.
Do you think that was obtained by a legal method? That was never intended to be shown to the public, but yet it was still there. Where journalism gets illegal, and if it's okay to get illegal, it's a little bit gray.
Still, I think on the principle, it's not good to break the law. And of course, every society and every system has their own process, and it should be respected. Even the police need to get a warrant to search a house. And what are these journalists? They're just like private sectors. There might be exceptions, and I think the exceptions can only be evaluated by the outcome. If the trade over is like big enough, if the end result is like so beneficial to the society, it can be given like an exemption or like a pardon. But if it's not that way, like in this case, he or she didn't get anything out of it, and at the end, the result is just he or she just trespassed that public private property, and that's it. So
face your legal measures.
I think they were desperate. They wanted to have the TV ratings, and they know BTS is the hottest these days, and that's what they're doing exactly. They're abusing BTS to get views. I think JTBC totally owes BigHit an apology, and I think it's super unprofessional that they are not giving the apology at this moment, because BigHit totally deserves it, and they were unprofessional about it, and I don't know why they're being passive about it. Like it's causing whole uproar. Everybody's got confused. It was trending on Twitter and everything. But
I think they're just gonna like
blow it off, right?
Yeah, and then never gonna talk about it.
This is so bad.
But this has been happening on JTBC for a while.
Oh, this is so bad for their image, and they must know that if they want to be a righteous and credible news source, they need to make amends for like these mistakes. They do.
And they need actual things, not like, oh, BTS is like calling a law firm or anything.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
get
like
actual news.
If you're gonna report about BTS having lawsuits and stuff, at least get the document or like a hard copy of something.
One thing that is surprising to me, yesterday we went to this seminar that was sponsored by BigHit, and right in front of us was a journalist from 중앙일보, which is the parent company of JTBC.
Yeah, I mean, of course they have to invite them because, like it or not, they're one of the huge media giants here.
That's
so
true. That's
true.
True.
They need coverage.
But if I was Pengsu, I would be salty.
The next news is about a giant penguin called Pengsoo.
Oh, I love Pengsoo. He's my favorite character.
What the fuck? This is actually a phenomenon?
Yeah, I love.
Oh my god!
I bought Pengsoo emo. I never.
This was actually happening right next to me.
Why are you not looking at the chat? I use Pengsoo emojis all the time.
I don't care about what you use.
Okay.
There's this superstar celeb called Pengsoo these days. He's
favorite.
like this giant penguin that looks kind of weird in my opinion. He looks
favorite.
grotesque.
Whoa, giant penguin. Whoa, giant penguin.
And I don't know why people like it.
I like it.
And I just can't understand.
It's the funniest shit ever.
The South China Morning Post, which is a news agency based in Hong Kong, published an article with the title, "Bigger than BTS? Why South Korea's millennials fell for Pengsu, the giant penguin." Numerous Korean news outlets made a follow-up on this story because it's about BTS and Pengsu, the hottest two these days. Because of this comparison to BTS with Pengsu, it's receiving a bit of backlash from the Korean public, especially armies.
The news outlets are receiving that.
Yeah, the Korean media outlets. To begin with, though, Pengsu is a giant penguin character who is currently the hottest thing in Korea. I have to admit, because I didn't know Danny was.
I was watching Pengsu videos yesterday at night.
Ducking sends me like clips of Pengsu, and I'm like,
Pengsu is the
Mom,
funniest YouTube channel in the world.
You're like freaking 50-something years old. Why are you watching a kid's show with a giant penguin?
It's not a kid's show.
Anyways, I'm jealous of this penguin because he has more than 1.3 million subs on YouTube.
Oh, really? Already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a
Way
rising
to go,
star.
Pengsu!
And he's been also like meeting all sorts of important people, like Kang Kyung-ah, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Like he's been invited to the ministry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's an influencer. South China Morning Post, SCMP, stated that its secret to popularity was his husky voice and not using the honorific form of speech towards people.
I agree. It's true.
I don't.
His way of speaking is very comedic. He's supposed to be a 10-year-old, but he speaks like somebody who's like 35.
Because a person inside is 35.
Right. And that's why it's so funny, and that's why everybody finds it adorable.
I don't find the irony in it. The South China Morning Post stated that it's breaking the stereotypes and taboo of the conservative Korean society, which I don't see in a penguin, a character. But this kind of behavior promotes social equality and it's gaining favor from the millennial age.
Right.
According to the survey done by Incrude, it's a job portal site, 20% out of 2,333 adults chose Pengsoo as the most influential figure of 2019.
Obviously,
That job
gotta be
site,
older.
people are going to be looking for jobs,
Yeah.
and probably they have a lot of time home, so they're watching YouTube.
Oh, burn.
No, I'm
Wish
just...
they could use watching BTS.
Yeah.
Bangtan-bomb.
Yeah.
and, you know.
So actually, figures such as Song Ga-in, the Miss Trot, they're watching Miss Trot as well. So Song Ga-in scored 17.6%, and they're watching Bangtan-bomb too because BTS was third. They had 16.7%, and then it's Jang Sung-gyu, Workman, 9.1%. So we can basically see that these millennials looking for jobs are at home binge viewing YouTube videos.
Watching YouTube.
No burn there, no burn. I'm just stating facts, guys.
Well, I
like
watch a
it's
lot of
media
YouTube.
consumption. And SCMP reported that it's a matter of time for it to become a global hit, like the Baby Shark song or Bororo.
I don't see it becoming global though. I think that kind of comedy doesn't really translate well over language barriers.
It's grotesque, so I think it might.
Stop calling it grotesque.
really
in
grotesque.
No, but everybody in Korea likes
Like-
it except for you. You are the problem.
How is this abusing BTS? Well, we saw in the title because people are not liking it and they're upset because of the constant use and comparison of BTS here.
Don't try to compare and belittle, please. Why do you keep on comparing? BTS is winning all day long and Pengsoo is winning too. Reporters and journalists needs a personality check. Hey, but it's not, you can't compare it to BTS.
BTS, don't cross the line. Pengsoo is being hyped by the media, and now they're trying to do too much.
Yeah.
They're going overboard.
A lot of people are
Yeah.
salty about
Yeah.
like this whole BTS Pengsoo
Yeah.
comparison, and in my opinion, I don't think they compare at all. I don't know why they're linking it in the first place, and the only plausible reason is because these journalists want views, and if they know the golden rule is that if they put BTS in the title, they'll get views, and Pengsoo also is hot these days, so they're gonna double the views.
But I
So-
understand why people are making the comparison though. It just means that BTS has become like the most recognizable thing out of Korea.
But it doesn't even make sense according to the statistics they use because second place was Song Ga-in. Why don't they use Song Ga-in
well,
and
no
compare?
one gives a shit about Song Ga-in outside of Korea. That's the thing. Like
They're abusing BTS. Period.
I don't think this can be said as abuse. What JTBC did, that's abuse. This is like, it's just comparing BTS to Pengsoo because BTS has become the biggest cultural product in Korea. It's like, you know, the most recognizable name in terms of cultural content.
Yeah.
And Pengsoo is also cultural content.
Mhm.
So obviously, you know, we thought BTS was the biggest cultural content product we've ever had. But then there's this Pengsoo thing that's like sweeping and getting all this hype. And it's normal to make comparisons with somebody who's
I
like
guess-
the most recognizable. If you're gonna build a fast food chain,
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
compare to McDonald's.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I
So
guess.
it's
Are you
understandable.
comparing BTS to McDonald's?
It's
But
BTS
okay,
McDonald's.
but why I'm salty about it is
Right.
because like these media outlets in Korea haven't like compared BTS and Pengsoo before, like in the articles, and they just suddenly jump on it because of the opportunity that suddenly South Morning China Post like. You know, suddenly compares it to BTS and Pengsoo, and they're like, "Oh, let's use this phrase too. Let's use this phrase too." And like all these outlets are suddenly jumping on the phrase.
That's
I
just
feel like they're just capitalizing out of BTS, like the title itself.
Okay, well,
Like it's this is such a good title. We should use it too.
when I was working in a news agency,
Yeah.
like what they used to do is there's this one or two reporters that would stay and not go outside looking
Right,
for
right.
stories, and they will be the ones that are in charge of searching like repostable stories. So these would be stories like this where like, oh, Pengsoo bigger than BTS.
Yeah.
And they would copy and paste the exact same story over and over again. That would boost the clicks. you
Yeah,
know, in the website.
exactly. That's what I'm saying
And that's
because
just like the way
because-
the media works.
Because my logic here is that the reason nobody compared Pengsoo to BTS in the past in Korean media
Yeah.
is because they know even if you want to compare them, BTS is just like way too bigger than Pengsoo. Like they can't be a comparison.
I don't
However,
think
they
anyone's questioning that.
they always wanted to. The thought was
What?
lingering in their mind. The journalists always wanted to compare them because it'll get views, but they were afraid of them. They were just afraid of themselves using that phrase because they would get backlash like of comparing. Like,
why
you can
would-
see the obvious reaction, but now a global journalist outside of Korea from Hong Kong uses this catchphrase, and there's like, oh, we have our bullet vest, you know, like we have our vest now, like we're safe. We can just say reportedly from SCMP.
I don't agree with your.
And then they're just like recirculating this article.
I think this is Delulu logic. Reporters, they don't care about people writing hate comments. They don't give a shit about that.
They do.
I mean, for them, you know what the worst thing is? No one
Not
giving a
getting
shit
views.
about
Yeah.
comments, alright? So they're not like the regular celebrity or YouTuber or whatever who like, oh my god, that hurt my feelings. They don't give a shit, okay? So like, number one thing, like, if they're getting a lot of hate comments, I would be so happy as a journalist because like my article has done something. It's gained traction. It's gained views.
Nah, I wouldn't go for hate comments.
But
They're reposting a post in the first place. Wow, so big for a journalist.
99% of journalism is just reposting.
I know, but they can have their own
stories.
angle or at least their own
I know,
title.
but, like,
But
why-
they
why
deliberately
are some-
choose to use the same title.
Well,
And now it's
I
their
don't
opportunity
know
to use
what is this
BTS.
video about?
It's about abusing BTS.
I know,
in the
but where is
media.
the abusing BTS? There's no
Well, I
abusing
see it.
BTS.
I see it. I think the perfect timing.
He's just comparing BTS to Pengsu, which is I think that's perfectly fine. Obviously, BTS makes way more money, way more effort.
I'm not saying the article itself, the angle of it was wrong. It is okay. Like it is
Right.
okay to compare BTS. What I'm saying is the media overall, the industry right now is just jumping on this one single article because it compared it to BTS and it saw it got a lot of views and they're like,
that's
oh,
how-
let's use it too. Let's use it too. Let's
That's how the
circulate
media
it.
works.
I know, but like it
Why-
just seems
it's
like
the-
everyone was just like so scared at the beginning, and just because like this foreign reporter just did it, they're like, oh, and now it's our chance. Let's just capitalize off of this too, and then people are pissed about it.
They have an agenda to get views, all right?
Yeah, that's
No one-
exactly.
Well,
What
why
I'm-
are you even making this video?
What I'm saying is, if
big
you're-
news.
What I'm saying is, if the focus is going to be on Pengsoo, make an make a concrete, solid article about Pengsoo and its cultural factors backing it up, rather than putting BTS even in front of Pengsoo in the title and capitalizing off of them. If you are going to include BTS, I've seen a lot of articles using the Beatles in front of like BTS, like comparing them, but those articles are okay because they compare the aspects of Beatles and BTS, like why they were super popular, and there's like a direct comparison. But Pengsoo and BTS, they're totally different. They're just talking about one statistic and one popularity standard, and they're in different categories, and they don't even provide an aspect on why BTS is popular overseas. They're just using the name to compare it, so I just don't see why they would just use BTS. It's nothing more than views. So I'm salty about it.
I don't have time to be salty about like some random ass article that some irrelevant journalist wrote. Probably doesn't
his
get.
name's David.
I hate it even more now.
David,
Maybe,
you did a good job on your article, but I'm salty about the Korean media just jumping and recirculating your articles over and over and over. It might be an honor to you,
That's
but I
the
just don't
nature
like.
of media,
Yeah.
news outlets. There's like 3,000 plus news outlets in Korea.
But seriously-
What do you think the 2,900 news outlets do? What do you think they do? They just stay
but
up all day,
seriously,
copy and paste.
I am sure that other armies out there are fucking tired of BTS being used by Western artists, news media, and all these radio shows that don't give a fuck about them, but just want to use their name and capitalize out of them. And I'm just tired of that now. Period. They don't give a fuck about the core or the aspect of
they
BTS.
don't give a fuck.
They just know the
Obviously.
name.
I know.
And they want to use it.
Obviously, but I think that's an honor. That's an honor.
It is an honor,
You've
but-
become something that's. If you throw your name out there, like if you throw BTS out there, everybody knows. That's why people are using the word
Yeah,
BTS.
but what infuriates me is because, like, for Western artists, I can kind of understand because they're not familiar to this culture and they're like celebrities, so they can like try to capitalize over each other. But in Korea, in journalism, these people have jobs to do, go dig deeper inside the aspects of it, and it's our home ground. They should be proud of it and they should be educated about why BTS is so popular, not just using them as a title and comparing it to Pengsoo just because of popularity.
No. What I'm saying is the reason why people are using BTS in their titles is because it's the most recognizable name, and it's because once you see the word BTS, you instantly think about like a certain quality.
Yeah.
And maybe be it their fame, their influence, I don't know, their music.
Yeah.
But like if somebody's gonna make a comparison, you gotta compare it with some object or something.
Compare it to freaking Pororo.
No. You gotta compare it to something that everybody's gonna recognize.
Compare it to freaking Baby Shark, okay?
It's like saying, A-list Korea's Beyonce or whatever. People are using Beyonce.
They're both human. They're both singers.
People are using Beyonce because Beyonce is an instantly recognizable name, and people know what Beyonce sounds like. And people know what kind of artist Beyonce is. So if news articles are using BTS, I think people should be happy that BTS has come to this level of recognizability where people instantly know, okay, that means that they're, I don't know, like the world's biggest group or something like that. So obviously when we were talking about Pengsoo is very, very popular right now. And that's why they're putting BTS in it, because BTS is very, very popular. So they're like jokingly saying, oh, is Pengsoo the next BTS? Obviously nobody thinks Pengsoo is the next BTS, but it's just like, hey,
bigger than BTS?
It's nothing to be salty about.
Those are all cloud chasers.
Okay,
Whatever. Have some
Hey,
I don't know.
hey, have some journalistic integrity.
That's what I'm saying. Wow, we agree.
We
So
agree.
this was the end of the video.
JTBC
If you
is
like this
abusing
video,
BTS,
please like, subscribe,
Pengsoo,
and
whatever.
comment.
Go watch
If you want to
Pengsoo.
hear Danny's opinion about this, go subscribe to our patreon.com/DKDKTV and
Buy our
see you next
merch.
time.
Buy our merch.